Welcome everyone to the Circle Debate Podcast MMA episode number 4. This is the recap as we were recapping UFC 259. Which previous one I can see here with my family, the familia, the West Side, the West faction right here, ladies and gentlemen. Also have El Director, the one and only Chris Kim, ladies and gentlemen. And also we have the author.
And Kevin. Cameo by Kevin the Cat right there.
There you go.
Very
and
important.
Also, we have the authors of pain, the Modest Brothers. The Modest Brothers, that is Richard and Alex Modest from Championship on the Line podcast.
I can finally tell them apart also.
Only a month later.
6 or 7 episodes later, and I can actually, without having to look at the Zoom screen name, I know that Alex is on bottom of the top. I don't know who's older, and they might even be twins, but I can tell them apart.
I thought twins. Oh my god! Like we met
That's
Victoria,
awesome.
and he was like, "Oh, you guys are twins."
My favorite thing is they might not even actually be brothers. That might just be an angle. All right.
We're like the Roxbury. Are you guys brothers? No. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
And also we have, of course, the Miyagi all Miyagis that will kick your ass, and that is Coach Jose Vera.
What's going on, guys?
All right. Man, what a weekend of sports, I'll tell you that, especially with MMA and pro wrestling, but this is MMA strictly only. But let's go ahead and talk, before we even touch the main card, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and give us your thoughts about the early prelim cards and the prelim cards. So I'll go with you, Coach. Which fight were you in shocked or that impressed you out of the preliminary cards?
Honestly, the one that impressed me was actually Askarov against Benavidez. I mean, that guy looked phenomenal. It was a tough match for him, but he made it look easy, I'll be honest. I mean, he put on Benavidez. He was going to break Benavidez' game plan right away. I actually cut him, I think, at the end of the first or beginning of the second round, and then just put the pressure. What impressed me the most, I didn't really know he's deaf. So he can't hear his corner.
He's like,
so everything he does,
quarter deaf, or enough to where it matters for sure.
Yeah, enough where I think it's like he hears muffled, but he can't make out like voices.
Yeah, it's like 30%,
So,
70%.
Yeah. So it's like, it was impressive that guy can change game plans in between fights without hearing his corner and make the proper adjustments, for his fights. Like, that really impressed me. Like, I didn't know that about him. And I think Benavidez is just, you could tell he was frustrated, especially going to the third round. Like, he just didn't know, what to do. What could he change to, start putting on this guy? Like, he just couldn't. Guy kept putting the pressure, beating him to punch and everything. I mean, it was a great fight to see. I was impressed by him.
I know back in the day with Matt Hamill, his corner would have color signals.
Right.
They would hold a flashcard with different colors.
Yeah.
Different
Everything meant something different. Yeah.
So I don't know if his corner either does that. I don't want to assume they don't know about it. That's very insulting. But if there's a reason they don't do it, if they don't do it, or if they do it and they don't talk about it because they don't want the other corner to start picking up signals,
Right,
so,
exactly. Yeah, there might be something they do. I'm sure there's some kind of game plan they have in there, fire signs or something like that, or the colors, for sure.
God damn, man.
But that he can't hear anything like that, and that he can just change on the fly.
Yeah.
Make adjustments as the fight goes on. That's amazing to me. I was super impressed by that, especially the way he put it on Benavidez. I think that's his first real tough fight.
If they didn't tell us that about him, I wouldn't have guessed that there was something wrong with his game.
No, absolutely not. No, you wouldn't be able to tell. No.
All right, Alex, do you agree, or what other fight do you thought was a shocker?
Yeah, no, of course, that one was really great performance by Askarov. He was very dominant, and especially, he's next in line. I think he gets a title shot next. Obviously, he'll be fighting the winner between Moreno and Figueiredo. Yeah. But the one that really was impressed was Cara France.
Oh,
he knocked out.
Oh yeah.
Oh my! He comes back and knocks him out. At one point he got his back. His back was taken, and then he gets up and he knocks him out maybe 2-3 seconds before the round's over.
Yeah, it was.
He survived his ground game. Like, he just defended, let him blow his wad, and then finish him off.
Because I thought he was gonna get submitted because they were mentioning the other guy his jiu-jitsu was top notch.
Yeah.
It reminded me of that fight on the last main event. I know Jose was a big fan of that. The big, really shredded Brazilian.
Oh yeah, Rodolfo Vieira. Yeah, when he just blew his wad on.
He was chaining 90 submissions in a row from Darce to guillotine to back take to renege.
Right.
He gets up and gets knocked out.
I mean, he came out in that second round like a zombie.
Yeah.
like just hands down, walking forward. I mean, that wasn't technically what this guy did, but pretty much is what happened. I mean, he
it was just one of those like just
nothing.
Completely overwhelming on the ground. But the moment he got up, there was ride or die, and had to get.
It's like that killed his confidence or something. Like he's like, I got him. Here I am. It's in my world. And also the guy gets up and escapes, and it's like he's just, I don't know. They didn't have a defense for the striking. At least he didn't. He got put away. All
right, Richard.
Yeah, I was gonna pick that fight too. France, getting in trouble with the, rear naked at one point and goes for knockout. But another fight for me would be Cruz versus Kenny, who won by split decision. So a real close fight. I mean, but still it was like 29-28, 28-8, and then 30-27. So this becomes a trend in this card. Kind of the scoring's all over the place. And we'll see that in the main card, how much those 10-8
I didn't agree with that split decision. I'm sorry. I thought Cruz took it easily, 29-28, all across, like 29-28. Like
Same here.
I never had Kenny winning that fight, to be honest with you. I maybe gave him a round, but it was still a close round where it still could have gone, in Cruz's way for 30-27. But worst case, I saw 29-28. The one ref that saw it, or the judge that gave it for him, I was like, what did you watch?
Exactly.
Sorry.
I totally agree.
At what point did he put him in trouble or do anything? Like, I'm like, no, man.
Yeah. It becomes a trend. It's a little disappointed, At this time you think we have better judging, but this is a perfect example of it.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. We'll talk more later about that too.
Definitely, because Dana White had a lot to say about that in the post conference. A lot to say about that. Director, talk to
what up, man? Oh, check this out. I called this as the fight to look out for in the preview show, and I'm following it up with a holy shit after show. That is Tim Elliott versus Jordan Espinosa.
Oh, man. Oh,
yeah, you did.
All the controversy.
I said that on any card, Tim Elliott is the one to watch, and I was not wrong. This was a scary, almost. He was toying with his food the entire. I think that Tim had the ability to finish him anytime he wanted to, and did not. And for the reasons that I'm going to leave out, there were personal reasons that were talked about in the post-fight. It's not my place to bring them up on this podcast. Google them if you have to, because it's not sportsmanlike to do that. Whether or not those were the reasons that Tim Elliott drew this out for the entire fight, whatever, he was able to pull it off. He did whatever he wanted to this guy at any moment. He picked him up, he dumped him, he hit him, he punched him, dropped him back down again, put him in any position he wanted to, smashed him up against the cage. It was 15 minutes of probably shouldn't have been in there with that version of Tim Elliott. And I don't know if those personal reasons led to that fire within Tim, because you never want to assume that a fighter needs a reason to fight besides just wanting to win. But I think there was some extra incentive for him to draw it out as long as he did, and he did. It was very it was the first bloody fight I'd seen in a long time for sure. Scary to see that version of Tim Elliott. And to see who's next for him is just it's not fun when that person gets to contract.
I was happy to see Tim Elliott be on fire like that, man. Like, I think he's always had the potential to be up there with the top guys, but he's always like kind of fallen short one thing or another. I don't know if it's injuries or stuff or mental work that he needs to work on, but I think he's always had, especially when he had that fight with Mighty Mouse. After he won the Ultimate Fighter. I mean, he gave him a great run for his money. I mean, that's the closest at that time anybody had ever come to beating or coming close to beat Mighty Mouse. So I was really impressed with that guy, and I was really expecting a lot from him, but he caught up and down, highs and lows. But but it's good to see him back like that for sure.
And they said for like this fight, he went back with Krause. So because he was extreme couture.
Corner. God bless Fox or ESPN, sorry, for doing their very best to keep up with the 7-second censorship button. they missed the ball on James Crouch by that full 7 seconds, because there was a hard, you need to fuck him up. And then you hear silence after that. And I'm like, it was very clearly, I mean, it's not broadcast. I don't know if this, I think it's only on the app, right? Like you can't watch this on ESPN, like thumbing through the channels. Is that not where it's broadcast?
It's on ESPN Plus.
Yeah, ESPN Plus.
Yeah.
Right. So when it's the prelims, they don't play it on like the parent channel on like channel 8 or whatever the hell it is. Okay.
Right. Because I think the early prelims were on Fight Pass, and then the after that it was on ESPN Plus.
Right. Okay. So since they're not broadcasting it to like basic cable, it's all I don't care about swearing anyways. It's to punch yourself in. It's the bloody fight game. Like I don't know what's worse, watching someone get knocked out or hearing the F word. So they cut off. Yeah, that Tim fight, man. It was violence.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
All right, now let's move on to the.
What about you, Ivan? Did you watch any?
I'm just a moderator, man. I didn't watch
I knew it.
Look, I didn't watch any.
Hot seat.
I didn't watch any of the previous fights because I was busy. So I
was busy.
You're all good. I understand.
I was busy.
Some of us aren't.
I mean, yeah, it's busy, unfortunately.
No, it's all good, man. I understand. Well, you did watch the main card, so we're going to include you in this part of the discussion. I've got 5 Tapology picks all lined up with scores lined up and a winner, and we'll see if there is a reigning, defending, or new.
All right.
Look at Alex. Alex, say it. Just say it.
It was Kai Kara France that called his own fight off again. He BJ penned it. Like he did the walk off. Yeah. That's what Jose's doing right here. But yeah, back to Ivan. He can pick whoever he wants to go first, and we'll talk about each main event card fight.
All righty. Well, you know what? Then I'll go first. How about that? So just get myself out of the way. Get myself out of the way.
Cool. All right. So let's bring up your tap card and then the score at the end of that.
All right.
Ivan, you had 9 of 15 with one perfect. That is pretty good, bro. You had everything on the prelims up until the Bontorin fight.
Yeah.
Correct. And then it just went all downhill from there.
Yeah, of course.
Hey, man, I didn't do too much better in that main card regard. So I feel you. Let's talk about that Santos card. Santos versus Rakic. You had Santos by decision. Not crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it was like, in my opinion, that was it was a brawl for all that fight. Just them, they were just beating the shit out of each other. That fight, that fight could have gone overall, in my opinion. But I was rooting for Thiago. This is now his third loss, so now he may be the one be cut next. That's going to be some
maybe. Yeah. That was a title shot loss, and then not a comfort from behind victory with Teixeira. There were some moments where Teixeira was in trouble, but he is the king of comebacks.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know if this is a third loss worthy of maybe give him someone in the outside of top 5, outside of top 10, and then see where he's at. But I think a fourth, probably, yeah.
Yeah, it could be. You never know, but depending who's the next fight he's gonna have. So
yeah,
I mean, I was rooting for him, and
I got one right here for you. Ready? Dominic Reyes.
Yeah,
that'd be the fight, man.
Yeah, Dominic Reyes. Yeah,
that would be enough to keep Santos in the picture if he wins, obviously. But if he loses, maybe it's worth.
That would be a great matchup.
Yeah.
It'd be a great comeback for Reyes. Good test to see where he's at.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, you got the next one, Islam Makhachev versus Drew Dober. You got that correct, but you had it a TKO in round 2, but it was a sub in round, I think, 2, right?
Yeah, 3.
Yeah,
it was
round 3. Okay.
Oh, 3.
Yeah. Come on, man. Islam, man. That's
goddamn, dude.
Jesus, man, that guy.
Right there.
He is something else.
My face, I'm in the corner.
He is something else, man. I mean, he is like the Khabib 2.0, straight out. I cannot wait for. I mean,
just like a little bit of a little angrier. Like Khabib definitely wants to win and finish, but this guy, he almost looked like he wanted to just punish you.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yes.
I just never seen him that hungry. I was just like, oh my god, just that. I mean, I don't know. This is my opinion. I feel that maybe 2 more fights, he gets maybe a title shot, maybe, or maybe 1 more fight. He's been on a winning streak. I mean, he's been on a winning streak. What, the last time he lost was 2015, I believe. So
a while ago, yeah. It was
really quick on a winning streak. So
really quick KO in like Korea or something like that, right? Mm-hmm. Texas. Okay, I was off.
Korea, just a little bit.
Korea, Texas. He's never actually fought in Korea.
I mean, but I love this fight. I love this fight with him. So far, my favorite fight with him was Arman. That's like one of my favorites. And that was a good match. Yeah. On both sides. I mean, it could have gone either way, but I enjoyed that fight most definitely. And so I feel that he needs at least 2 more fights to get at least to be a title contender, in my opinion. But I mean,
yeah, I'd say 1 really good one or 2 mediums. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I don't know who would be the one at the 155 division. I mean,
where was Dober ranked before this fight?
I'd have.
Is he top 10 or top 15?
Let's
I
go.
think it was top
Let's
15.
see
Top 15.
lightweight rankings. They usually post those every Monday, so that might be updated. So I'll see where he's at now.
Yeah, because Dober was
Still got
a 35
Khabib
win
ranked.
streak.
All right, let's see lightweight. Drew Dober is nowhere inside of the 15.
Ooh.
Even as of Monday. Yeah.
I mean,
Gregor Gillespie is number 15, and that's
Gregor Gillespie.
Really?
Really?
Wow.
He hasn't fought since like I think that Kevin Lee fight. I don't know.
Yeah, he hasn't fought.
Yeah.
That's
That's
weird.
weird. It's Gregor, Iaquinta, Kevin Lee, Diego Ferreira, and then Islam Makhachev is just broken at 11, moved up from 14.
Okay.
Okay.
I wouldn't have dropped him that low.
That's
After that win streak he was on, it's like, huh?
Yeah. Dude, that fucking Kevin Lee KO. Dude, I said that shocked the fucking shit out of me, bro. I'll talk about that all day long. If you look at the Megan O'Leary, there's a clip of Megan O'Leary sitting there texting as the fight starts, and all of a sudden you see her go, and she gets scared because Gregor died. That was crazy.
Oh, Gregor. That was a horrible knockout.
Yeah. He was stiff the moment the foot landed on the face.
Yeah.
God
yeah. And Gregor had a lot of hype going behind him in that fight too.
Yeah. One of the best wrestlers
he was
in the
like,
history of the sport.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, that's not even like you can put him up there against as far as like the best in the world goes. Matt Hughes, Sarah McMahon, like fucking just straight up like Matt Lindland, like that level. Obviously, he doesn't have a silver medal like Sarah and Lindland, but as far as collegiate goes, apparently one of the highest decorated champions of all time. Yeah. But MMA is not wrestling.
No.
Clearly, that's what happened with that Kevin Lee fight because Kevin Lee is a good wrestler who knocked him the fuck out. And all right, wow. So I don't think anybody was able to get this one the way.
No, I think I'm assuming that everybody got the next one wrong because
we all had a lot of us had Peter Yan, but round 3, and we were almost right.
Yeah,
didn't somebody have?
We were inches.
Aljo? Nobody had Aljo?
Right.
I did.
Somebody had Aljo?
Oh, last minute switch. That's not what you said. That's not what you said.
That's
play the tape.
Sometimes.
Tapology.
You gotta play the tape again. See, no, that's not what you said, man.
Tapology locks the takes an hour before the event, so as long as they're inputted an hour in,
somebody's playing games now. Somebody's taking this serious.
All right, man. So
he's setting you guys up.
Yeah, fake picks and the real picks come in later. I see how it goes.
No.
I don't know how to talk about this fight. Holy shit, man.
This one, it's unexpected. I think I messaged you guys when I was just like, what?
Unfortunate, unexpected.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it wasn't a total shutout by Yan by any stretch. Aljo was weaning a little bit in the cardio, but that did not stop him from throwing flashy shit that came at the speed of 2 frames per second. The slowest spinning back elbows I'd ever seen in my life. So,
that's very true. Very true.
He was still coming forward and trying, but I think Yan was just finding the gas tank and kind of just picking his shots as Aljo came in until some advice may or may not have came Yan's direction that led to a lot of confusion in the finish.
Yeah.
I mean, there's even like talks about like even the post fight about like saying about Aljo kind of faked it out just to get the belt. I'm like, wait a minute, what?
I can't assume that's what happened.
No, I know that. So I'm not saying that I'm assuming that. I'm just saying what they're saying, what they're assuming, like the critics.
That was a real strike.
Live update from ESPN right now, and literally right now, Aljo's talking to Brett Okamoto and said, rematch with Peter Yan will happen when I feel good and ready to go. If you have the ESPN app, that just popped up right now.
Wow.
That's just gamesmanship. He's just playing with him. That's just playing with him. No, Dana White's going to force that rematch 100%.
Yeah, that's probably
happening.
I mean, the moment Aljo is cleared by NSAC, that's probably going to happen in.
Yeah.
I mean,
Aljo's not going to have any say. He might be the champion, but he ain't have no say.
Yeah,
very
exactly. Very true.
You know, Corey Sandhagen ain't happy.
No.
I know. I talked to you guys about that. First thing you guys said was, holy shit, the Aljo fight. I'm like, Sandhagen ain't happy right now.
No.
Yeah.
If he was lined up, that would have been his fight probably in late summer.
They're saying he's going to have to take TJ now. He's going to have to beat TJ. Him and TJ Dillashaw.
Man.
Wow. I try not to swear too fucking much on this fucking podcast. Like, I loved TJ. He was my whole. Dude. Oh my god, I loved TJ up until that.
Keyword loved.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I said that word. But I mean, I was
we all did
that Cejudo fight, And I never blame the winner for winning, but that Cejudo fight, I was like, TJ, what's up, bro? And then I found out fucking he was on every Mexican cocktail in the pharmacy.
Yeah, right.
But he looked horrible going onto the scales, though. That dude looked dead.
Like he was an accident. Yeah. He was like, oh, I don't even know what his excuse was. I think it was basically like, I just didn't think I could cop was his excuse.
Yeah, he didn't have an
apology video.
Yeah. Fucking, I don't know what's going on in Yorba Linda, but I'm glad Benil got out of there. I know they weren't training. Was Benil in that garage?
No, they didn't train together. No.
Okay, I forget the name. I know it's not Elevate. What's the name of that? Raining Terror Rain.
Rain.
Yeah. It's basically just some dude's garage in Yorba Linda, literally. Yeah.
Really.
All right. Okay. So with that being said, yes, Aljo is the champion. It was the only time a champion has ever become champion off a DQ. The only thing close was back in the day, the first Vitor and Randy fight. Vitor had clipped Randy in the eye.
Oh, yeah.
With his glove, and the corner of his eye of his glove
open.
Horrible.
Sliced his eyelid open. Technically, it's an eye poke, but it was a punch. So the doctor stopped it, gave Vitor the belt. Obviously, Randy smashed him in the rematch, as he should have. Whether or not that happens with Peter Yan, fuck, man, I don't know. You know, the corner advice, that's up to speculation. Khabib said he heard the corner say yes to the kick. Yan said, I heard yes to the strike. Like, should I hit him? He heard a yes. And at the end of the day, it was all Yan.
Yeah.
Whether or not the corner said to kick him anyways, fuck, man, it's bad ring generalship by Yan. Unfortunate. It was going to go his direction, if give or take the judges. We just have to wait and see when that rematch happens.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
that's all I got. I mean, when it comes to all of our picks, when it comes to my picks, I'm going to say the same thing. So I'm going to not really spend that much time harping on this fight because it's just so fucking wild.
Mm-hmm. It is definitely.
You've got you picked Manny Nunes TKO round number 2. I love that you gave the homie Megan some credit on that. I love that you gave her 6 minutes at least.
Oh, well, I wanted the reason why, because I'm like, okay, maybe Nunez is gonna feel her out a little bit. Okay, let me see how she is, and then she's gonna strike so very quickly in the next round. That's what I expected her, but this shit I did not expect it. Like very quick in the first round in 2 minutes and 3 seconds, submit the living shit out of her very quick, and found the weakness.
She got her in that
Jesus, man.
Triangle armbar, which is so
that was it.
It reminds me of
triangle, right?
Yeah, it was a reverse triangle with an armbar.
Yeah,
armbar.
It was a triangle from the back with an armbar. Yeah,
it reminds me of what's called Nuts and Honey. If anyone knows what that is, you know what that is, Vera? You know Nuts and Honey?
I've heard it before. I can't remember off the top of my head right now.
It's Chris Lytle. It's his triangle choke with a Kimura. Chris Lytle has 2 finishes with it, and he named it Nuts and Honey.
Wow.
But yeah, he has you in the triangle. I can't, obviously has you in the triangle, but then he's got the Kimura, and I think he's got 2 wins in the UFC with it. It's fucking glorious. But
I love Chris Lytle, man. He was great. I love watching that guy fight.
It reminded me of that a little bit with the triangle from the back.
Yeah.
Very Toby Amado, Jose Masvidal.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And then with the armbar, yeah. Go ahead, talk about it. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to steal the show.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Like I said, you already preached it, so there's nothing much I can say. You added more.
I appreciate that you gave Megan, second round with a TKO. It was still go for Nunes, which is at the end of the day what matters most is who wins.
Right.
Also, I want to say, don't mean to interrupt.
No,
don't mean to do a cheap plug. Chris Lytle was on our show. Other than that.
Championship for the Line podcast. Yeah. Find them on Instagram. They're killing it. You do unboxing of wrestler toys with the wrestler, right? Is that one of the things you do?
That's what we just did.
I love that. That is so original. I don't think anyone's ever done that, and if they have, I don't care. You guys did that.
It's surprising because I don't want to get too much into it. Even she said, "I never opened my own figure," which blows my mind. Like, how do you not buy your own figure and open it? But
I wouldn't even imagine if I'd ever have a figure. This is I know when Cody Rhodes' first figure, he did something like that with I think he was really disappointed that his first figure was Stardust or some shit like that. And he was like, my first figure is Stardust, but it's my first figure. So yeah,
but
I love that.
What I want to get into with Megan Anderson, they just announced like an hour ago she's a free agent now.
Really?
So she's no longer the UFC. Yeah.
Somebody decided not to resign, and I don't know who. I didn't get that memo.
Was that her last fight on her contract?
Yeah.
Yeah, they just announced it like literally an hour ago. Yeah, she's not UFC anymore.
I mean, okay, so they have what I heard was, I mean, Pena wants to go up to 45. I think they announced it was Danielle Wolf and somebody, Felicia Spencer. Yes.
Yeah.
That was sort of pseudo announced at the post fight. You have 3 women, including the champion, in that 145-pound division. Spencer.
That's it.
You have Felicia Spencer, Danielle Wolf, Amanda Nunes. Megan sounds like she might be on her way out. Jermaine Duranamy, okay, 4. Juliana Pena, if she can get up to 45, who she's a very fit 35. I got a picture with her too. I should post that. She is. God, I know her husband's a cop, but she is out of this fucking world, man. Straight up.
Nice.
There's some people on TV. You're like, okay, that person's amazing. In person, it's like enhanced.
Well, like Casey Kenny now. We'll get in trouble.
Oh, dude, yeah. She's a nice girl. She understands. She made fun of me in a loving way. I forget what the line was. She said something like, I said like, oh, you're one of my favorite fighters of all time. She's like, one of? I was like, you are my favorite fighter of all time. And this was at the time when she was smashing women before the Valentina Shevchenko smokage. Anyways, we got a main event to talk about. Ivan, you had Adesanya TKO round 3. Not a crazy pick, I promise. If you picked anyone in this fight to win, you had a 50-50 chance. And that fight was a lot closer. And we'll talk. Jose is going to talk about the judging. That fight was a lot closer than that scorecard led it to believe. So give us your thoughts on what happened in that main event. What went right, what went wrong?
I agree. I mean, it should have been a close fight, especially like on the scorecard. But I mean, I got to give it to John, man. He kind of strategized on this fight. I think he really prepared for this fight, fighting Adesanya, how he came in. I mean, there was a couple of rounds that, I mean, I would say 2 of them that he was like not doing good at all. But overall, the remaining of them, it was like 50-50. But yeah, I mean, I feel that now Adesanya, he can't even back his, he backed it up a little bit what he said in the conference, but we did see, Jones talking mad shit on Twitter.
Slap yourself.
Oh my
Slap
God.
yourself.
Slap yourself. But I gotta give credit's due. At least Adesanya, he dared to take the risk.
I love how goddamn humble that guy is.
Yes,
yeah.
he is.
As flashy and as style bender as he is, his post fight was a masterclass in how to act.
Yeah.
Yeah. He took that loss like a champ, literally.
Yeah. There was no setback in that loss for him, and only the casuals will think there was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed.
Awesome.
Hey, Ivan, do you still think after this fight, you still think John Jones is still scared of Izzy?
I never said he was scared of him. Right? I did that. Look, we can go back and watch that replay.
Ivan, you're gonna have to slap yourself.
Slap myself down, man. No, right? It did not came out of my mouth. I never ever said.
Yeah, I mean, that being said, Izzy still has a striker's skill set to beat Jones on the feet, but we all know that Jones is most definitely because although Jones also likes to beat you at your own game, but I don't think in this instance Jones is dumb enough to. We saw that in the Gustafsson rematch.
Yeah,
he didn't stand with him at all. He fucking took him down and smashed him.
Yeah,
he was like, "We're not having a rematch like the first fight. That was the worst time of my life." And I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna show you why I'm the best. And Jones did not play Gustafsson's game in that rematch. Took him down, smashed him.
Well, he trained instead of going out and partying and going, like in the first fight.
He didn't go to a Brazilian strip clubs. No shame. I've got a couple Brazilian ex-girlfriends. I don't blame them. Making sure my door's shut. Don't show my girlfriend. Anyway, fuck, man, I'm gonna get fucking canceled. Anyways,
what happened to Chris? We don't know. We can't talk about it.
We don't know. We can't talk about it.
It's a petty lawsuit.
So for Ivan's first participatory topology, Ivan, in my opinion, did not do terrible at all. 9 out of 15s. You got more than half right. Score of 475.
Yeah. All right.
The perfects are where the scores really come in. If you get the perfects, you get a bonus in the points. But you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row correct, capping it with your only perfect, and then 3 more on the prelim main card. So not bad at all. Up next,
for someone that doesn't know the prelims, really you did pretty
I
good.
know
on
for
that.
someone who didn't even watch the prelims.
Perfect,
bro.
I know, right?
I understand. Not everybody can be MMA autistic like I am and have to watch every fight ever, all time.
Hey,
I think Ivan was just like this, like, yep, there we go. That's it.
That's how it was.
I don't know that guy.
And what I do, and you guys know I do this, is I'll bring up the card, then I'll bring up each fighter, and I'll look at the odds. I'll look at Sure Dog. I'll look up who won.
Yeah.
Then I'll watch the weigh-ins. I'll pay attention to mannerisms, and I still get a lot wrong sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck. I try to make smart decisions, and that's not true with MMA.
It's hard, man. MMA is a game that you can't.
Everyone's like,
that's the best part of MMA. You never know.
I know. Everybody looks at the odds, and that does matter. But to me, every fight is 50-50 until it's over.
Yeah,
every fight is 50-50. It's all. I mean,
a punch could just change the game, or like
something
like that. Anything can happen. Anything can happen.
First jab, first leg kick, anything, man.
Yeah.
All right, Ivan. Who do you want to pull up next?
Go for it, director, because I'm saving Coach for, before Alex. Alex is going to be last, but I'm coaching him right after. You called out everyone.
The defending champion goes last. Is that how it works?
Yeah. Alex is defending champion goes last.
All right.
Throwing too much for his eagle to grow.
I got 6 of 15. Terrible, but 3 perfect.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Okay, so main card. I had Santos KO round 1. This fight was a matter of, I thought it was going to be smashing versus kickboxing, and it was a 3-round war that featured a little bit less of both. It was, I don't think it's technical for Rakic, but I don't think it was as smashy for Santos. Those were still the game plans for sure. I just think it was a matter of just Rakic just a little more respectful of the smashing that Santos can do, and then Santos just not being able to deal with the kickboxing as well as he probably could have. Still led to the decision for Rakic. It was close. It wasn't as close as like it could have been a split. I think was it a split?
I think
it was unanimous. If it was a split, I would not have been surprised. Where Rakic goes from here, maybe Dominic Reyes. I don't know. It could be that could be a great. Reyes needs an opponent. He needs to be tested. We need to see how he recovers from a loss like that. Yeah. The Jones loss was a little bit different. This was a starching, not a 5-round war that he almost won. He got busted up hard and fast by the current champ. And I want to see how he recovers from that kind of loss. Next up, I had Makhachev by submission round 2. That was close.
Oh, good close.
That was good.
Very
close.
Good
call.
Yeah. It was looking that way the entire fight. It was like 2 punches by Drew Dober and then just take down and smash.
Yeah.
Did he even land a punch? I mean, honestly. I'm not playing like, because I know that guy's got great, like, hardly ever gets hit.
He threw like a wild knee that got caught, or a kick or something that got caught and just taken down. But I think that was about it.
Yeah, because I don't really remember seeing that guy get hit. I mean, he just
we can go. We can
ragdoll them.
UFC puts up like the fight metrics.
Yeah,
and I'd love to go look at that if I could find it quicker than what I'm doing right now. I don't really want to do that. Because if they're not going to use fight metrics to go score a fight, really is irrelevant.
Right.
But yeah, story of that fight was exactly the story of that fight. I think we all had Islam by some finish, but whether or not the round was correct or not is all good. Peter Yan, round 3 submission. I think I accidentally hit submission because I know I talked about being a TKO, which is what I should have put. So either way, I was wrong. Either way, we were all wrong. Yeah. I talked about it already. We all talked about it, so we can kind of skip quickly. But yeah, I think in the rematch, maybe Aljo makes some adjustments. Maybe Jan reads the rule book. We'll see what's up.
Right?
He
had no excuse in the post conference. He had no excuse.
Yeah. I don't know why my results didn't show up. Maybe I have an old screenshot, but I had Nunes by TKO round 1, and that was almost what was about to happen.
Oh, yeah.
She was, the first punch to land. Okay, so, damn. Megan looked like Bambi on ice.
Oh, God. Yeah. Her legs?
Yeah.
Bro, that was bad.
Remember Jim Carrey in the tarmac in Dumb and Dumber when he goes to deliver the suitcase and he falls and he lands? That's what it looked like. It was.
I thought her knees were going to snap the way they were going back.
It looked as unfortunate as I didn't want it to be. I'm glad that Amanda, I don't want to say showed mercy, but she, I think, said in the post-fight that she did want to submit her, so she did. I don't think it was her intention, but she saved Megan from a lot more damage.
Oh yeah.
I think she wasn't going to jab her to death. She was throwing bolos. And if one more of those haymakers landed, Megan would have been probably on another planet. She would have been back on Gold Coast, Australia within seconds. Yeah. Where Megan goes after this, maybe Bellator, maybe a rematch with Amanda Bell, who's over there doing her damn thing. The only 145er that I can name that's over there. I think
maybe PFL.
Maybe PFL, who's trying to do its thing as well. I'm trying to think of who that other 145er that just left UFC that went to Bellator is. It's another female. Did she go over Bellator? I didn't know that.
She's in Bellator. Yeah, I think she just had a fight.
Yeah, maybe that rematch. But there's another one who I forget who it was. She was like a big signing, and it is where it is. Yeah, and then moving on to the main event. I also had Adesanya. I had Adesanya by TKO in round 2. They both said they just came in with a little bit too much respect, but rightfully so. It's what won Jan the fight. I don't know if Adesanya was looking to pick shots and go full style bender, or if he respected Jan's power too much and just couldn't pull the trigger. Eventually, by the time it mattered, Jan was taking him down and holding him there and not really smashing him, not doing much with the takedowns, but doing enough to keep it on the ground. Jan was working for positions. He was at some point trying to get some head and arm triangles. None of them seemed to come close to being threatening. Maybe Izzy needs to get some either takedown defense or get up offense. He has plenty of room to work and hope maybe bring in some wrestlers for him, because he said in the post-fight, "Oh, this is the blueprint to beat Izzy, is to take him down." It might be. We shall see. He thought Gastelum. Gastelum didn't go for a single takedown. If anyone could take him down before Jan, it could have been Gastelum, who is a world-class wrestler. Yeah, Izzy back down at 185. I think he called somebody out in the post-fight. I forget who. I can't think of any other middleweights right now.
There's a Vittori? Did he call out Vittori?
Yeah, I think it was Vittori, and Vittori's lined up to fight somebody. I think it was the winner of Vittori and whoever he's lined up to fight.
Darren Till.
There it is. Bam, Darren Till.
Cool,
Thank you.
yeah.
You're the man. You were so good. Thank you. And then next for Jan, Glover is the only logical thing. I mean, that's a rematch, right? Didn't Glover get him the first time?
Yeah, Glover won.
Yeah. So that is all line. I mean, that's just, if they make any other fight besides that, then Dana White's out of his goddamn mind.
I mean, he did say in a post conference, he deserved a shot, but he didn't seem more enthused about it.
I think Dana might be like, that fight doesn't sell, but fuck selling.
I think he's just worried because it's two really older heavyweights fighting for a belt, and it's like, how long is he going to be able to promote them and make money off of them? That's the way he thinks. How much longer do these guys have?
Look at this top. I'll even do top 10 real quickly of the light heavyweight division. There's no offense to them. I believe in the fighting and winning gets you rankings, but there's no superstars in this top 10.
No.
Glover. No. Rakic is number 2. Reyes is 3. Chavo Santos is 4. Jiri Prochazka. Oh. I can't even name it.
Prokayak?
Prochazka? I don't know what the fuck. I have to go back. Anthony Smith at 6. Magomed Ankalaev at 7. Volkan Ozdemir at 8. Nikita Kralev at 9. Johnny Walker at 10. I have more interesting fights outside of that. You got Misha Furkanov at 11. Ozzy Jimmy Crute, who I love, at 12. Paul Craig's at 14. At this point, if you don't have superstars, which I don't think you need superstars, I think you need winners, just give them number 2 or 1. Give them Glover. That's it. No question.
It has to be Glover. I mean, there's really nobody else. Nobody's more deserving right now than Glover. Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
At that point, it's a slap in the face. You don't give the poor guy a title shot.
It's a slap in the face to the division, the sport, and the fans.
Exactly.
Sure. Agreed. My name is Chris, and my score was 505. I exactly 30 points.
That's cool.
I'm not last. Who's up next? Who you want?
We got Coach.
Coach. All right, brother.
All right.
I got you right here. Let's do your tap. Man, my OBS is so stacked right now. I'm surprised I know how to run this thing. So you had Santos round 3 TKO.
Yeah. honestly, I expected more out of him. Like, I thought he was going to feel the pressure of, losing a third straight fight and possibly taking, getting cut. So I expected a little more fire out of him. I have to agree with the commentators in the fight. They're saying his movement, his footwork wasn't the same. He did come back from 2 knee surgeries. So
at the same time too.
Yeah, at the same time, which is odd to do.
It wasn't like Dominic Cruz, who was like one and then another.
No,
which is
bad. Yeah. I know he wanted to get him out of the way so he can come back sooner, but sometimes that's not the smartest thing to do. And you could tell, like, he was plodding along, like he wasn't moving and he wasn't pushing forward like he normally does. Like, that fire wasn't there. Like, I didn't see it. And Rakic, I think he was just playing it safe. I think he wanted to win because he's up there, and he knew like the next step is to possibly be a title contender. And I think he was afraid of really charging forward and giving that shot to where Santos could blast him with one and kill him out of just with one shot. Because we know Santos can put you out with one shot.
Yeah,
he's got that one shot power.
Craziest one shot power. Like, I'm gonna go look.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and I think Rakic just didn't want to put himself in that situation, so he played
one that like.
He fought a smart fight, He did a technical fight.
The Jimmy Manuwa one, the Eric Anders one, like
he has those, but Thiago has different power. I mean, you let that guy hit you once. I mean, it's gonna be bad.
Yeah, 15 knockouts and 21 wins, dude. That is
there. You go, exactly.
That is a very important stat.
Yeah, I think he fought the smart fight, and he set himself up to continue moving up the ladder. And as far as where Thiago Santos goes, I don't think he's gonna get cut. Like we were saying, that light heavyweight division is so low in star power. It's like, do we really want to cut him now? It's like, well, who do we replace him with?
It was called Glamour Division, even when Chuck had it.
Yeah, it's like, what do we do? Do we cut him and back Matt Hamill? I mean, I don't know. And that's really where you're at.
What? Anyways, so I'm gonna actually edit that out. You had
Wait, my comment about Matt Hamill or what?
No. Oh. I love Matt Hamill. I never saw that movie made about him though.
Great movie.
Is it good? Is it good?
Yeah, it's actually really well done. Yeah,
it only covers his high school and college career, right? And like ends with him.
It ends with him starting his MMA career,
like walking into the gym, and then it cuts to credits or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. If I remember correctly. Yeah.
I know the actor who played him. I'll deal with this later, but the actor who played him, I was actually a fan of, and I found out that he was playing Matt Hamill. I'm like, that's fucking random.
Rich Franklin's in it too as his coach.
Yeah, Rich Franklin. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The guy who fucking beat him with a liver shot. Yeah, that's crazy.
Franklin.
Dude, talk about one of my all-time favorites right there. One of my favorites.
I love watching that guy fight. I mean, especially when he moved up to 205, he still held up his power.
Yeah, that Dan Henderson fight in Germany was awesome.
Oh yeah.
His fights with Silva too.
I want to cover real quick the tail of the tape interview for that fight with Franklin versus Henderson. It cuts to Dan Henderson saying something like, "Oh, I can't wait to beat the shit out of him," and then it cuts to Franklin. He's gonna beat the shit out of me. I mean, that seems a little gross, right? I mean, I don't want to show it over the octagon. I mean, that's a little weird, right? That was their official video doc for the statement of the fight. I was like, what is happening right now? Anyways, back to last Saturday. Islam Makhachev decision. I mean, I don't think anybody got this wrong. Let's find out. Talk about it. Where'd you think it was going as it happened?
Oh, I mean, I thought Dude Dover was going to put on a better fight, but I thought he'd be resilient. I think I said decision, right? 3rd round decision.
Yeah. Not second round decision.
No, not second round decision. No, I didn't call that. Or 1st round decision for that matter.
It's not an amateur fight.
Yeah.
Dude, Emmy fights have like 2-minute rounds sometimes, man. I've seen some crazy shit. I've seen like a Cage Warriors. It was called like Future Legends or something like that. It was like 2-minute rounds. I was like, this is fucking. I want my money back.
Yeah. No, but Makhachev, I think he put it on him. His plan was just to break him, and he did that every round. 3rd round submission, great. Kind of got on with that shoulder pressure right to the neck to carotid artery. Kind of a little bit of the Von Flue choke, Some people, when you hold on to the guillotine, they move or cross over and drive the shoulder into the carotid artery. Same kind of thing, just from half guard. He just wanted to smash him, put that shoulder pressure, and he saw that he was kind of gurgling a little bit, put a little more pressure, made him tap.
Reminding me of an old school fight that happened in Australia with Brian Foster, who was able to get a head and arm choke from inside guard. He was in the guy's guard,
which is hard as hell to do.
Yeah,
because your squeeze has got to be phenomenal.
Yeah, his spine was curved, but he was still, within he had the confines of being in the other guy's guard, and he was still able to pull that off.
Yeah, that's amazing. No, Makachev looked phenomenal. I mean, he looks like a star, like everybody's talking about, didn't get hit, Purdue over in horrible positions every time he took him down, just smothered him and just, smashed him like the whole time, did a Khabib.
That's the only word to use right there, is smash.
Smash, yeah. Did a Khabib smash. As far as for where he goes, it's just up, man. I love to see him fight a higher caliber guy. Somebody in the top 10, I think, should be next for sure. Top 10, somewhere in the 8-10 place. Would be good to see him go up against.
Pulled up lightweight.
But I agree with Ivan. I think he's at least 2 fights away before he's up in the top 5.
He's at 11. Yeah, he's at 11 as of after that fight. So I mean, the 3 people ahead of him are Filzer, Dariush, and Hooker. Dariush would be a fucking fantastic fight.
Ooh, that'd be a phenomenal fight to watch.
But then after that, you get into superstar territory with Dos Anjos, then Connor, then Tony, then Chandler.
Even Dos Santos, I would love to see him against Dos Santos. I think that'd be a great fight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Especially the way Khabib broke him. Like, I'd love to see what this guy can do.
That'd be
amazing
jump for him. I think Dariush, they both deserve each other, but if you want to have them jump up 4 to Dos Anjos, that'd be the fucking test right there.
Oh yeah, that'd be a great fight. Great fight to watch. Either Dariush or RDA. I'd be set for either one.
That'd be a fight night main event if it's Dos Anjos for sure.
Oh yeah. If it's Dos Anjos, yeah, for sure it is.
All right, so Peter Yan decision. I mean, what's to be said? Nothing we can say.
Oh man, yeah. You know what, man? Here's the thing with Aljo. Aljo looked great in that first round. He came out. He was on fire. I mean, that guy looked like he drank every energy drink they had out there.
he threw
everything.
Every video game finisher at him. I'm like, oh shit.
I mean, the problem with Aljo is like he just kept slowing down round through round, and then his takedowns were so sloppy. I mean, he was giving up his back on purpose. I'm sure that's probably kind of like a gamemanship where he's like, I can't get him to engage on the bottom because he wouldn't. So it's like, if I give up my back, maybe he'll engage, try to take my back, and boom, I can spin around, end up in his guard, or he ends up in my guard, and I can submit him. Because you could tell he was just kind of, spinning. And anytime he spun, it was slow, and he gave up his back. And it was like on purpose to see if he can kind of bait him into like that grappling situation. But you can see Yan, great patience throughout the fight. He's, guard up high, started working his boxing as the fight went on, check kicks, through kicks, and just started wearing him down. As he slowed down, Yan picked it up. Anytime Aljo started like going slow, that's where Yan started picking up the punches, really putting the pressure on him. And then as we saw came the knee that ended all,
As it happened. The only thing you can think of as it happened, because it happened, you saw it coming, unfortunately. It happened in such slow motion.
Yeah.
Is that goddamn meme of Dana White on The Ultimate Fighter. That's fucking illegal.
Here's my take on that. Here's the thing. Like, I know people are saying, well, Khabib heard his corner say, hey, it's okay to hit him. But in the post-fight conference.
I think Khabib heard kick, I think he said.
Right. Yeah. Something. Yes. He heard something. But Yan, they asked him if he heard it. He said, I didn't hear anything. He's like, I didn't hear my corner. He's like, all I remember is the ref telling me that if the hands are on the floor, I could hit him. But I mean, I'm not a pro fighter, but I know that means if they're on their feet standing and their hands on the ground, they're a down opponent. But if they lift their hands up, then you can hit them. But if your knee's down, automatically you're a down opponent.
But then there's a 3-point rule too, also, which is also fluctuates between
from commission.
Yeah, exactly.
But he was clearly a down opponent. The ref had just finished telling him.
It was all 4 were down.
Yeah, but I mean, the ref had just told him, like, he's a down opponent. He's a down opponent. Don't hit. And he was looking like, I saw a really slow-mo replay of that. He was looking down. So he knew the knee was down. I don't know if he was thinking like, okay, I'm going to throw it, but I'm going to catch him because he's going to be standing up and I'm going to time it perfectly. Yeah. I don't know if that was it or if he just kind of like was just frustrated and wanted to put him away because of, all the shit talk that kind of went on in the fight. But it's just a mental error. That was complete mental error on part of Jan's.
That's the only person to blame.
I mean, you can't blame anything. As far as Aljo being blamed, like, oh, he's acting. It's like, have you ever taken a knee to the head?
Yeah.
I mean, you are not going to be the same. I've gotten head kicked and not hard. I was not the same guy. Yeah. Okay, you take a full blast knee that was meant to put you out. I'm sorry, you're going to be concussed. Yeah. And for you to continue that fight would just be dumb. Let's just be honest. It'd be dumb. If he continued, he would have got hammered. He would have got put away easily. whether it was in the 4th round or in the 5th round, because he wouldn't have been the same.
Yeah.
You know, gas tank, I was slowing down, whatever, but mentally, you know, as far as to defend himself, you know, smart, he wouldn't have had that. He would have got murdered out there. It was just, he would have killed him. No. So, I mean, as far as for him not wanting to come back, I could see it. Did he play it up? I don't know. Maybe not. You know, who am I to say? But, you know, I don't blame that guy for not coming back out. Like, I mean, he was, like, he was hurt 100%. You can't say he wasn't hurt. No, I mean, that knee was timed perfectly to put him away. Man,
the only fight similar to that was, sorry, but the only fight similar to that, Alex and I were thinking, like, what other fight was similar? Was a little different position, but was Frank Shamrock versus Renzo Gracie.
Oh,
he had him in circles, he had his knees to the ground. Yeah,
Frank Shamrock. Yeah.
And there was no way he even said, I can't continue with that.
Right.
Oh, that was Strikeforce, right?
Yeah, Strikeforce.
Yeah. I can see it in my head. I'm trying to picture the cage. I'm like, yes, that was definitely Strikeforce. Cool.
Yeah.
Did you guys see TJ Dillashaw's?
Right? Like he claimed it was like a knee in the eye or something like that, and he was like covering his eye. I think. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you guys see Dillashaw's tweet after that?
Not yet.
Like, oh.
Fuck, we go find it right now. Hold up.
Please find it. Please find it. Could you find Cejudo's too?
Oh yeah, I saw Cejudo's. Yeah.
Oh, come on.
While I look that up, I want to get your thoughts on the results of that. I found it right. No, that was ESPN. Obviously, in a disqualification, there is a loser and a winner.
Yeah.
And this event is very special. The loser of a title, winner of a title under a DQ circumstance. Obviously, it could not be called a no contest.
No, yeah.
Because that would protect the loser who made the offensive move.
Right.
Do you think that there should be an amendment to the rules where the champion should lose the belt, but the winner shouldn't hold the belt? Should it just be vacated? Or do you think there's no other option than what just happened?
I know a lot of people were talking about vacating the belt. I mean, there's been a lot of talk about that, but then you're just kind of putting up in limbo. It's like, yeah, he technically lost it, but not really. I mean, he was winning that fight. Let's be honest. He was on his way to win that fight. I mean, he was either going to put him away later on in that 4th round or put him out.
If it was a technical foul, like an accidental foul, depending how, I think it's after the 3rd round in a fight.
Right after the 3rd round, they go to scorecards. But because this was a blatant foul.
Exactly.
Yeah, because a blatant foul, disqualification.
Like a majority split or something. I forget what
and I agree. You do need to take away the belt from the champion. Do I necessarily agree that he should lose the belt and it should go to the loser or to the winner, pardon me, of the fight?
It's so fucking gray.
It's gray because if you don't do that, then you're telling champs like, oh, you got to do this foul, get disqualified. Don't worry, still keep your belt.
Right. Which is,
which means you do kind of got to take it away. And, I personally would be more favorable with vacating. I mean, granted, it kind of puts it up in limbo, but I would probably be more in favor of them vacating the belt. Like, nobody gets a belt, It's like, sorry, you got disqualified, but technically you can't win the belt that way, and you can't keep the belt either.
Sorry, I think the championship you guys were the first to say, I think it was you guys, either you guys or another part of the League of Extraordinary podcast, and we all know this that are pro wrestling fans. Title does not change hands on a disqualification.
Exactly.
What that allows the pro wrestler to do.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins
saying that.
Seth Rollins just get a DQ and keep the belt, which is
right.
a bullshit fucking rule. So obviously you can't do that. Otherwise, like you said, Peter Yan would do the knee.
Right.
Peter Yan could be losing and then knee him in the balls and then
yeah, exactly. And that's like the last thing you want to see.
In a row.
Yeah. So
I think the biggest problem people had with Aljo though was that picture after later on him like celebrating with the belt around his shoulder and taking shots and like smiling.
Was that a real photo?
Yeah, it looks like it was a real photo.
It was a video of him too.
It was a video.
Was there a video too? I just saw the picture. I was like,
I was hoping that was photoshopped, but I mean, like, whatever. It is what it is. He gets the ring on.
I think if you just left it at throwing the belt down on the ground, did the interview, I didn't have no problem. Him doing an interview, I was like, whatever, man. Like, of course he's gonna talk. They want to talk to him.
Yeah.
Like, he was lucid. It's like, he was fine. Like, you could talk. I mean, I've seen guys get concussed. You can still talk. I mean, it doesn't mean you can have a quick conversation with somebody, but
Yeah.
All right. Now we have that main event. Adesanya round 4, TKO or KO.
No, we missed Nunez.
Nunez. My bad. Thank you.
Yeah.
Nunez, you had Nunez round 2 by TKO.
Yeah, also with Ivan, I agree. I thought she was going to take her time, kind of feel her out a little bit, and then maybe put away.
Did she ever do that besides like with Valentina?
She did with Durandamy, and she's
that
done a
wasn't
couple
her choice,
times.
though. That wasn't her choice per se with Durandamy.
No, but she did with like Pennington too. I mean, she's done in the past. She's done in the past.
Where she deliberately takes her time, or just has a hard.
Maybe she has a hard time, but I think that's more what I thought. I thought Megan was going to give her a harder time in that first round.
Okay,
but it didn't happen.
God.
Like, I'm sorry, but that first punch she landed, her eyes were like a deer in headlights. Like, oh my God, what did I get myself into?
Yeah.
And then like her legs buckled, and then she hit the ground, and it was honestly
she got up again.
Yeah, but only to get blasted again. But I do agree. It was mercy on part of Nunez's part, as far as for her not, murdering her on the ground, just submitting her, putting away real quick, and not causing too much damage. But Amanda's the best as far as like 145ers. Even at 135, I don't see anybody who's gonna.
Yeah, I think the only thing next for Amanda right now is probably Sandhagen. He doesn't have a fight. She just won clean. She probably doesn't have a long layoff of suspension from medicals. I don't think she took a shot in that fight.
I mean, I know people are calling for Sarah McMahon, because Sarah McMahon, I think, was the last woman to beat her. Yeah. So they're talking about bringing her, let her get her revenge on that one. But I think that would be a massacre.
I love Sarah. Sarah turns corners. Right now, Sarah is sitting at. Wait, I'm looking at. Wait, why does it go pound for pound? Oh, strawweight, flyweight. Okay, bantamweight.
But let's be honest, Sarah right now, with the way Amanda's at the stage in her career where she was at, I mean, that was just.
Yeah, Sarah's number 8 at bantamweight. And I think earlier today, I don't know if we were off air when I said Pena challenged her at 45. I do think I meant 35.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think Pena's moving up. She might be able to, but I don't think that'd be good.
I don't think that'd be good for her to move up.
I do think she meant it 35. God damn, Aspen Ladd is number 3. I love that. It makes me so proud. Sorry, I'm an Aspen Ladd fanboy. Anyways. Now we can move on to the main event. Adesanya, round 4, TKO or KO.
Yeah, what can I say about this fight? Let's see. Man, honestly, I was like really disappointed in this fight. This was another kind of like Yoel Romero fight. He was going out there to be very tactical. Like the thing with Izzy is if you put pressure against him, he does great. Like he loves to counter punch. He piece you up, when you're coming in, because you're gonna leave openings that he can see. That not many guys can see, as far as like with Costa, as you saw, not a lot of guys were able to find those holes that Izzy was able to find with him putting that kind of pressure. Like, I mean, he pieced them up perfectly. I mean, put them away. But
I think John tagged him a few times. It surprised me. I think there was a couple of right hooks.
Yeah, he did.
Izzy was oh shit, I got hit for once. In MMA. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I'm gonna give credit to Jan first because he's the champ. I mean, first off, his game plan was also very good. He didn't rush to anything. He stayed patient. He used a beautiful jab through the fight. Like his jab was phenomenal. Like I'm glad to see more guys are starting to use that jab, aside from Usman and stuff like that. Like he used that jab perfectly. Like you saw him a couple of times snap his head back, like hard from some of those jabs. I was like, man, this is good. Like he's staying calm, staying patient. He didn't throw any looping punches. Everything was pretty much down the pipe, keeping it clean. Stayed patient, checked kicks, threw some kicks. And of course, there was the takedowns. As far as going into the 5th round, I had it 2 apiece, to be honest with you. I had Izzy winning the 1st and 3rd. And then I had, Jan winning the 2nd and 4th. So that 5th round, I was like,
that fucking scorecard, man.
I was like, for sure, 5th round, Izzy's got to pick it up. Yeah. If there's going to be a round where he's going to put it on him, it's got to be this round. Like, this is the one where Izzy's got to come out and be the style bender and just put it on. Like, you've been tactical, cool. You've been pacing it out. Great. But this is the time to go. And then, like, he didn't. And then he kind of looked tired. And then he got taken down. And then, like, I'm sorry, but his jiu-jitsu, like, offense, defense was just not there. I went back to see his Vettori fight also because that's the last guy to take him down. And I know he did the same thing where he's stuck in half guard, also same thing. And he kind of does this like explosion to kind of recover guard or try to move the guy. And he tried doing that with Jan, and Jan didn't move.
That's
like,
where you really saw the size difference.
Yeah, that's where you really saw the size difference.
When they were standing, it wasn't that bad because Izzy's tall.
Standing, I think it was pretty even.
Yeah,
for sure. It's the takedowns that won Jan the fight, 100%. Yeah. I think that.
Agreed.
But you definitely saw the size difference on the floor. Like he didn't budge him at all.
With Jan on top and Izzy on bottom, you almost couldn't see Izzy.
Yeah,
that's how big, how wide Jan is.
Yeah, and you heard Izzy like grunting to like get him off.
Yeah,
and like he didn't budge him like one bit. Like I was surprised. Like damn, he didn't move that guy at all.
Before I knew mount escape, which I still need to work on, obviously, I had no fucking help. I was so weak until I learned like some simple tricks like pull the post arm and then how to hip out and shrimp or maybe do like a scissors. I know how helpless you can be being mounted.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You're just like every wasted movement is.
In half guard, I was expecting him to kind of like sit up, get that underhook, that right arm underhook, use that to sit up and scoop back to the fence. Cause his wall climbing, his fence, like cage climb is pretty good. He's pretty decent up against the cage to get back up from takedowns. So I was expecting to do that, kind of work that underhook, sit back up, walk back, or even maybe just push himself to the cage more and kind of wall walk and try to get himself up or recover guard. Like that's what he did with Vittori when he did that explosion from half guard, kind of bumped the head off, bumped him off a little bit, boom, recover his closed guard and started working from there. But he didn't do that at all. And either one of the takedowns neither one of the time, fourth or fifth round, like he didn't do that. He just accepted the half guard and he even kind of opened it at sometimes, just kind of like see if he'll go to mount. And I don't know if he had some kind of special mount escape that he's worked, but it wasn't going to work against Jan. I mean, I think you saw the huge size difference in that fight.
Yeah, it was much bigger.
Way bigger. Like I was super like impressed with Jan as far as him controlling on the ground. Like he did try to go for some of those head arm triangles. That's more him trying to stay busy. I think he could have thrown more elbows, but I think he didn't want to give him the space to escape.
I think he was working for
kind of wear him out,
right? Did he have him in side control or like?
Yeah, he had him at one point. He had him side control, but then he recovered. But he was okay in half guard. Like anybody in MMA knows, half guard's the best position to be in. You can rain down elbows all day, punches all day, and not really have to worry about anything. I mean, it's a great position. Like Randy Couture was the master of the half guard, top half guard. Like he would just murder you from there. Tito Ortiz too. Tito did great ground and pound from half guard. I mean, he would kill you from there.
Tito tapped Randy with the knee bar. Remember that?
Oh yeah. I remember that.
It's a joke.
Yeah.
Randy was spanking Tito.
Yeah, I remember that.
And everyone and all of I think it was like Tiki and everyone in Tito's corner was like, he's tapping. And John's like, shut up.
Yeah.
John McCarthy, sorry, it was John McCarthy who was rushing that. Was like, he's not tapping, he's spanking him on the ass.
Yeah, Tito had no jiu-jitsu, but I mean, later on he got a little bit better. But I mean, as far as for his ground and pound, it was great. I thought Jan could have done a little more ground and pound, which to me leads back to that 10-8 round. Somebody gave him a 10-8 round.
Two judges gave him 245s, I think is what it was, something like that.
I don't see a 10-8 round anywhere there.
45.
Like he took him down the fourth and fifth, but he didn't do any damage.
But those are the rounds they're with 10-8s.
He kind of hugged him, threw a couple little rabbit punches here and there, but nothing really to like damage. If you see Izzy after the fight, he looked clean. I mean, his face wasn't destroyed or anything.
The precedence of those two rounds being 10-8s meant that like the first two Makhachev rounds were 10-4s.
Right, exactly.
Like,
it should have been.
You have to have a fluid standard of what the fuck a 10-8 is. I love that they're adding. I know that they said they're going to add more 10-8s, but don't just. But this wasn't it. It almost seems like the judges want to show like, oh, we know what we're talking about. We know what a 10-8 is. Like, no, you don't.
You don't. Especially when it was only like towards the end of the round where he got the takedown, so it wasn't even enough time to like where he had like 4.5 minute control time. Like it wasn't. It's like maybe 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, per round, which was enough to win the fight. I agree 100%. But to give him a 10-8 round, I don't see that at all. Like whatsoever.
The same with the Elliott fight. Elliott, they had 30-27, 30-7.
Those were 10-5.
30-25.
Right.
Where all three rounds were as bad as there was. Each round was as brutal as each round in that Elliott fight. All three of them.
Yeah.
All
but
right,
I think at the end of the round, I think Izzy should have put on more weight, taking his time to go up to light. I'll be honest. He should have taken more time to go up to light heavyweight because he looked the same size. I'll be honest. Like he walked in that cage, I'm like, that's the same.
He came in underweight. He came in at like 197,
200 pounds.
No,
200.
201.
201. Yeah, something super light. So I was like, oh, so what he did is basically he just didn't cut weight.
Yeah.
Which is working out hard, didn't hit same regimen, but just didn't put on any muscle. Which I get it. He probably didn't want to get slowed down with the muscle.
Right.
But that's why you do it slow, kind of like John's doing right now for heavyweight. You do it slow, you build your weight up, you put on muscle, and then do it that way. And I think that you could see it. Even he said after in a post-fight conference, I think he said that his legs were tired. Like he felt like tired, like his legs were really fatigued. And I think that had to do a lot with that carrying, you know, some of the weight up against the cage fighting, and then definitely takedowns. And his takedown defense, you know, in the middle of the cage was just, I'm sorry, it was just horrible. Like, you know, he didn't hip punch. He didn't like dig his hand under to try and like pick him back up and, you know, defend the takedown. He just kind of like buckled. At one point, I think his knees kind of buckled and he fell back. And that's one of the takedowns. And I was like, man, I was expecting a little bit more out of him as far as like his takedown defense. But I mean, that's the same way Vettori took him down too. When I rewatched that fight, was, you know, it wasn't against the cage. It was like kind of in the middle of the cage, just blast them, take them down, hold them down, and, you know, work from there. But
and you can't fight like that if you want to fight.
No, you cannot. That's why Jones was laughing, because Jones know if he takes you down, you're gonna be eating elbows all day long. Let's be honest. Johnson's gonna cut you up and, you know, put you away miserably.
And as you said, Izzy didn't cut any weight, and it looks like Jan came in at fight night at 220.
Oh yeah, you could tell. I mean, that boy was big.
It was obvious, and it mattered. Sure.
Yeah, it made a huge difference. You could tell on their back and their arms, everything. You could tell it was just a huge difference. And I think that's what kind of also held up Izzy, is that he felt the difference in power too at 205. You know, Jan didn't hit him too hard, but I mean, his jab did pop him back. There's a couple of times I think he did hit him with a hook.
Yeah.
And, you know, it didn't rock him, but I think it stung him enough to where he's like, oh, okay, I gotta take this guy's power serious. Like, I can't just go in here and, you know, do my thing. I gotta stay smart, work my game plan. But, you know, I think he wasn't prepared for those takedowns or something. I don't know. He didn't work the wrestling, the takedown, you know, defense just was not there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, you know, nothing to take away. I think at middleweight, he's still going to kill people. Don't get me wrong. Anybody who thinks they're going to be able to he's not going to go back, you know, to his home and work on that takedown defense is crazy, man. That guy's too smart to not work on that deficiency that he clearly found. And his takedown defense and his ground game too. I think he's going to work on his jiu-jitsu more too, kind of work his hip escape, defending, coming up, you know, getting back up, finding the cage and wall walking. He's going to do a lot more for that, for sure, I think. He's a smart guy.
And that'll translate better at 185 as well.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Because even with Vettori, he was able to move Vettori when he did that, you know, explosion off the half guard, recover his guard, and he was able to move and get back up. So I think it's different. The size difference was huge.
All right, man. So that brings yours total score to 490. You are somewhere above Ivan and somewhere below me. So,
yeah. Super disappointing.
I
blame Jan.
I know, right? I do as well.
Honestly, I was so pissed when he threw that knee because, like, you just threw off my pick, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you just killed my pick. You bastard.
What's really, I talked to my friend about this, is if you pick Aljo to win as the underdog, you cashed out that DQ
win.
Oh
my God. Yeah, you made some good money.
Hey, you know what? You cheated, bro. You switched your pick. Nah, man. I don't call it champ at all.
Can we deduct points on that one? We gotta deduct the points, right?
Hey, that's smart, man.
On the last minute. Too. All right. Let's see what the champ did on his scorecard.
We'll do the champ, and then we'll get Richard's thoughts on whatever he wants to talk about, because he doesn't have a topology, which is fine, but we still want to hear his input on whatever he wants to talk about. Yeah. All right. Alex's topology, not the score, but the tap itself. 10 of 15. Boom. 4 perfect.
Look at Ivan. Son of a bitch.
All right, man. So I don't think anybody picked Rakic to win that fight for some reason, including myself, who likes Rakic. But you had Santos TKO round 1. Didn't happen. Go for it.
Yeah, Santos. I mean, like I said, I thought he was going to eventually get that punch in, get that knockout. You know, and Rakic, you know, I'll be honest, the 2 fights that I didn't get to watch was that one and Nunez, and it's because of ESPN Plus.
Yeah,
you know,
a lot of people had
glitch. It was freezing
I don't
so many
understand
times.
how a multi-billion-dollar company or $1 million whatever has a broadband issue like that.
Yeah, I got to a point where, like, I had to restart it, and I'm like, "Are you kidding me?"
God, I'm pissed off, man.
Especially for paying customers, because they're aware of the issue. They always issue statements like, "We apologize to our paying customers." Like, you don't really seem like you are apologizing.
Yeah.
Sounds like Spectrum to me.
All right. Yeah, go ahead.
But yeah, you look good. It's a good win for Rakic, and I was kind of worried because Blachowicz said that he says he wants to wait probably like till the end of this year to fight, which kind of scares me because I don't think Glover wants to wait that long. And knowing how Dana White is, I wouldn't be surprised if they put the Shredder versus Rakic for title eliminator. I wouldn't be surprised for that.
That sucks.
Yeah, that would suck.
Well, that was up for Glover big.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be great for Rakic, but not for Glover.
No. So yeah, but Rakic looked good, and it was a good win for him. He played a smart game plan.
Oh yeah.
Didn't fall in for the traps, and he did good. Good win for him.
Nice.
All right.
You got Makhachev by decision, round 3.
Yeah. I agree with Jose. I thought Dober was going to put on a better fight, and he just didn't have an answer for defending those takedowns. I thought if he could defend them and put it on his feet, he would have some success, but he just couldn't. He couldn't defend it. He couldn't defend those takedowns, and Makhachev could have done whatever he wanted, and he just dominated him.
He couldn't even land a punch, really. That's a crazy part in that fight.
Let me see if while we're talking about it, I can get the fight metric for that one. UFC 259 fight metric. There's no fight metric. It's its own independent website, I believe. Yeah, I don't know how hard that's going to be. Fine. UFC stats. Nah, it's too hard. Too much going on. Wait, maybe. Where is it? There's the John one. All right. They might have it. There it is. All right. Let's see if I can find out. Here we go. Damn, that actually wasn't that hard. Significant strikes by Islam, 15 of 25, 60%. Drew Dober hit 10 of 20. Okay. I mean, I don't know where those were at.
I don't know where.
Significant strikes? I don't know about that.
Maybe Brown from the bottom, 10 of 20.
Like those counted? Like these rabid little punches?
Okay, here's the
Brock Lesnar punches.
Yeah.
I got some great numbers for you right now. 102 of 119 landed for Islam. 14 of 24 landed for Drew. Takedowns, 3 of 4 for Islam, 0 of 0 for Drew. 75% takedown success rate. Total control time for Islam, 9 minutes, 26 seconds. Drew Dober, 12 seconds. I'm not gonna. You can laugh, but I'd probably, he could probably hold everyone in this planet down for at least 12 seconds.
Yeah.
It's what it is. It's just Islam is, like you all said, he's Khabib's boy. He's definitely the second coming of Jesus Nurmagomedov, and I'd love to see who's next for him. And if it's Khabib, that'd be great.
Get out of here.
Yeah, right.
Son of
that was as good as that. That was as good as that Tito knee bar. That was good.
Yeah. Son of a bitch. Alex has Sterling winning by submission round 3. He was half right.
Man. That's unfair.
Peter.
You made your pick last week, bro.
Hey, sometimes
wait a minute.
happen, and you
think
about it.
Go watch the episode. Switch. I think he picked them.
Dang.
He did pick this.
I think he was telling us Megan Anderson all day, and then he picks.
You're right.
I do think that he did talk about maybe picking Megan, but I mean the scores are locked in. I don't know if his Photoshop's is good enough to trick me, but all right, man. So did you think that submission was still coming before the finish, or did you think that choice was not accurate going into that third round?
Which one were we talking about? The Sterling, right?
The Sterling, yeah. So you had him by submission in round 3. How hopeful were you that was still going to happen going into that third round?
I still thought he was going to try to go for takedown or eventually trap him in, because I knew he was trying to look for that. But Jan just did a really good job just avoiding the ground game. And the reason why I picked, so I know I picked Jan last week, and then for this one I picked Sterling. But the reason why is because I was just watching a lot of his training, his footage and all that, and it kind of made me think, maybe he's going to be much faster than Jan. I thought he was going to control the pace. And when the start of this fight, he was rushing it. He was too fast. I remember telling Richard, I'm like, whoa, he's rushing it. He's really trying to knock him out, and I think the cardio, and he got tired. I think that's the reason why, because it's his first title fight. Emotions are high. He's going to try to knock him out, try to get that big, obviously win in title fashion. But yeah, he just he got tired, and obviously no one expected him to win by disqualification.
Yeah. Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
Nobody at all, man. I couldn't believe it.
His takedowns weren't there either. Like, he's so sloppy with his takedowns. I was so surprised that he didn't work his wrestling, keep it a little more technical as far as he's gonna take him down as far as against the cage, or even shoot a blast double. Kind of surprise him a little bit because he's so small. Like, Jan's shorter. Just kind of surprise him with a quick blast double. But it just wasn't there. Jan actually, I think he was 3 for 3 in takedowns.
Yeah.
All with trips, but still took him down. I mean, didn't engage on the floor, but still, it's like, I don't know. I was super surprised by his sloppiness as the fight progressed. I mean, I get it that he was tired, but
especially the spinning shit. The spinning shit wasn't
stopping. No, not at all. Yeah, those you said, those spinning elbows. I mean, you could see it a mile away coming. I'm like, come on, man. Like, you got to do something. It's time to change it up.
But I think he's going to learn a lot from this.
Oh, yeah.
And when come the rematch, he's going to be way better.
I agree. People were saying, like, oh, who's got more to learn from them? They're like, Jan. I'm like, no, I don't think it's Jan. I think it's Aljo. I think if anything that's going to learn more from this, Aljo. Like, he had a horrible game plan. He shouldn't have blown his wad so much, and especially in that first round.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to realize Jan's a lot harder to take down. So maybe I need to work my wrestling, get a little more technical as far as where I take down, how I take him down. How do I make him engage without just throwing myself and giving up my back? So I think Aljo definitely come back better in the next fight. Jan for sure will look great. I mean, I think, he's a smart fighter, but I think Aljo has a lot of room to improve.
Aljo always comes. It's unfortunate that he has to have the setback to come back from them, but he does always come back from a loss.
Oh, yeah.
10 times better. Like, after the Marlon Moraes fight, he went on the title run here.
Yeah.
Without him this fight, so like.
And that was also a mistake on his part, like that Moraes fight.
Yeah, he accidentally got head kicked in 12 seconds.
No, I mean, he got sloppy. He got sloppy. I mean, as far as like, he tends to do that. As we saw in this fight, he tends to be sloppy. That's what I'm saying.
And to be fair, also Moraes is that good because he repeated repeated that exact same finish with Jimmy Rivera like a couple months later. But yeah, I know what you're saying. Where he just Aljo is good everywhere.
Yeah, I think sometimes he gets a little too cocky, and I think that's kind of what happened with the Moraes fight.
Right. And Nunes, round 2, TKO. I think everybody kind of picked.
I told you, man.
And in round 2, I had her in round 1, but I was wrong with the finish. But yeah, you had her in round 2 by TKO KO. Yeah, go for it. Take it away.
Yeah, I thought, like I said, I think everyone thought Megan was going to put her in a better fight. I thought, she was going to use her stand up a little bit more.
Yeah.
And man, she just, I think the pressure got to her. I think, especially you're in the title fight and you're facing the baddest woman on the planet, probably the greatest of all time. So,
And Megan's debut was supposed to be against Cyborg.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So, I mean,
that would not have gone well.
I don't think Cyborg would have cared about taking you to the ground or finishing you.
And then you start to think of what's next for Nunes. Obviously, a lot of people are talking about Kayla Harrison.
Yeah, Harrison. Even talked about Shields coming in, bringing her in from the PFL.
Yeah.
That would be a bad idea, though.
Yeah, it would be a bit. Yeah, her first fight against.
Yeah.
That would be a great promotional fight to be like, fuck PFL, watch what happens.
Yeah.
I don't have that opinion about PFL. They haven't been around long enough in its version of PFL. I love World Series of Fighting because it's so much legends came out of there, like Mariah's, like Justin Gaethje, like Nick Newell. But where it's at right now, I'll give it some time. Let's see if it lasts. Let's see if it makes waves.
Well, the tournament's looking pretty good.
No, the tournament's looking great. Yeah.
They have a good season coming up.
Yeah. But I think you bring in Shields, I think that would be another like a massacre, but because kind of like a Randy Couture and James Toney. But it's definitely be put away though in a whole different fashion. I think it'd be more.
Oh yeah.
Way different. Be more brutal.
That was hilarious. That was important.
Maybe she could do the one glove like our Jimerson
did. He's literally in the Hall of Fame. He's the only person who has 0 wins in the UFC and who's not like Joe Silva, who actually doesn't fight.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We can get
Is he in the executive wing or whatever they call it?
He's in the legend.
Yeah.
He's in the Pioneers wing.
Yeah.
Like
no, I mean Joe Silva. Joe Silva, is he in that executive wing or whatever?
I forget what wing he's in.
Okay.
We can get into this on a separate podcast for sure, but I don't see any reason Petey Williams is in that fucking Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Anyways. And main event. Yeah, Adesanya TKO round 2. I mean, not a crazy pick.
Yeah, I just thought he was going to get the counter. I thought he was going to set a trap for him.
Yeah.
Lashley did a really good job.
Swooping punches.
Stick to your picks.
Stick to your picks.
That was just one, man. Really, it was one fight. I thought John was gonna. I mean, he did a great. He had a good game plan. Pretty much, tap for tap. Let Adesanya, he throws, and then I'm gonna answer back, but throw more punches, because every time Adesanya threw his combinations, John would quickly attack. After that, but throw more than Adesanya would do. He did a really good job, especially throwing the kicks, mixing it up, working the body. I think that's why Adesanya got tired during the last round, and I think Adesanya just rushed it. He did not take his time to go up to that heavyweight. He didn't.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think he did it the right way. And then one thing kind of I don't know, it didn't. I mean, kind of pissed me off, but they asked him why'd you go light heavyweight, and he's like, I just moved so I could show off. And it was really?
Okay, so let's be fair. This entire sport is to show off. You get better to win. You win to get glory, and that glory could be money, fans, or fame. We're better at the sport. I mean,
nobody did it better than McGregor. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I love McGregor to this day. I mean, guy has a record. I mean, it's only two losses more than GSP, with a very similar win ratio. So you guys can, go look at the numbers. It's true story. Mm-hmm. You don't see anybody calling GSP Mick Tap and Knockout, because he's been both knocked out and tapped out, by everybody named Matt he's ever fought. Interesting stat for you. Anyway, go ahead.
It's okay. I mean, I like the part where he tells Dana White, he's like, "You believe in me now?" Which I thought was awesome.
Oh yeah.
Dana had said he doesn't know where the fuck that came from.
But let's just be honest. Dana wanted him Adesanya to win. Obviously, he wanted more money, and I don't blame John for telling him, because if you look at the commercials and the promos, they're all promoting Adesanya. They don't really mention
Nunez bullshit, where every commercial was Ronda and no Nunez, and Nunez had the belt.
Yeah, so it's I get why he was angry, and he proved the point, and now we could really say he is the the light heavyweight champion. Because a lot of people are saying, "Oh, he's just a paper champion." No, he's now, and I feel like no one really gives him his credit. I was watching Brandon Schaub was like, "Oh, well, give more credit to Adesanya." I'm like, what? Come on, man, just give him his respect.
Yeah. Hey, what's worse, Brendan Schaub stand up or his stand up?
His ground game, actually.
I'll openly admit that I'm a Schaub fan, man. I saw him at the comedy.
I do. I'm a Schaub fan. I watch I listen to Fight of the Kid. I'm
OG T-Fat K before the Callan stuff, but I'm glad Callan's coming back.
Yeah.
Was the punchline his career?
Wow.
Dang, man.
Hey, come on, he took out Crow Cop. He knocked out Crow Cop.
He did knock out Crow Cop.
All right. Yeah. All right. So I have the scores, and we'll get to Richard, but scores are very important. Here we go. We got me, Chris, at 505, Jose at 490, Ivan at 475, and still champion.
He's a total of stick to your picks, bro.
625.
Still. I told all you.
How much should we deduct for that change of card, though? How much should we deduct for that?
Exactly right.
Deduct 100.
Right.
Thank you. Yeah.
I still win.
I agree.
It's fine. I mean, shit.
You crushed this. This is like one of those fights. This was like Anderson Silva coming back from the boring decision wins against Maya.
Oh, God.
And everyone's like, okay, well, he's still the champ, but that wasn't a good performance. And then he comes back and smashes everybody for another 6 years. That's what you did.
I mean, I'm not surprised.
Bro.
I'm not surprised.
What?
I'm not surprised, man.
I'd like to take this opportunity to apologize to absolutely nobody.
Is this a Dick Diaz moment?
Right?
I told y'all what's gonna happen. I mean, I told y'all, you know, and you guys never learn.
Oh, you know what? We're gonna learn.
I promise.
We're not gonna believe you anymore. That's what we learned.
I
Friends here on the show.
I promise you guys. I don't know if I tried to
live with this guy.
I tried not to be
I have to live with this guy.
You live with this guy, but guarantee watch UFC 260, you're gonna lose this championship, man. You're gonna lose it.
No.
You're gonna lose it, man. I don't care who wins on that one, but you're gonna lose it.
Am I wrong, or did Jan actually outstrike Adesanya in this fight, like threw more punches, right?
I have fight pulled up because I'm going to save this website. It's actually on the UFCstats.com, which I didn't know existed.
Well, you know what? Before we get to that, let's ask Richard overall, man.
Yeah, Richard. Let's talk about what you want to talk about, man. I got.
What do you feel about everything
pulled up, or any fight you want to go in the same order?
You want over if you want to go real quick on it. Like the Rakic fight versus Santos. I felt like what you guys were saying earlier. I think there was a lot of respect for each other's power. I mean, with Rakic's kickboxing, I mean, it speaks for itself. And then Thiago Santos had that one-punch knockout. So I felt like Rakic's best round was the opening round. You know, he had those strong leg kicks. And then from there, he just limited the space where he didn't have to avoid the damage from Santos. And from there, he was calculator and measure with his striking, and he got the job done.
Exactly, yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Exactly,
Islam Makhachev. What about the Islam Andrew?
With that guy, with Islam, like, I didn't know a lot about him because if you see the roster, like a million guys, but all I had to see was that he was a Khabib's teammate and he's from Dagestan, and that's all I needed.
That's all you need.
Said.
And the keyword takedown came in my head, and I'm like, okay, he's gonna win by just wrestling and pretty much bullying. You know, Dober was hard to see, but you know, because Dober, you know, he's I don't want to say a journeyman, but he's, you know, been with the UFC for a while. I mean, he has great fights, kind of up and down, but he just was in a whole different league compared to Islam.
He looked in great shape, though. Dober looked in phenomenal shape in that fight.
Oh, yeah.
He looked phenomenal. I was like,
he has a very.
It's hard to watch his Instagram posts, though.
Yeah.
Is it? I don't follow that guy.
Oh, he's like a model, dude.
Oh, boy.
Like, I get it. You're beautiful.
You're beautiful. Enough. You're making me feel bad. Stop.
Peter Yan, Aljo, Sterling, Funkmaster.
That fight, nothing much to say. DQ. Jan, I think all of us thought he was going to win. Just what kind of fashion he was going to win. Sterling, you know, it sucks to see, you know, how it ended out. But like you guys are saying, there was no win situation. If he says, you know what, I'm going to keep on going, he was going to get knocked out eventually.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been sparring flicked with a front kick and not even that much power, and I'm raw.
It doesn't take much. It just takes a
little
bit on the right spot.
Yeah.
So for these fans, like I see they're roasting him on all these posts, all these comments, like, "Oh, I want to see you. I want to kick you in the face or knee you in the head and see how you feel."
Not even you or me, but let Peter Yan fucking do it. Let
Exactly. So, you know, and then I mean, it's kind of a bittersweet situation. I wish I put myself like both sides of the fence. Like if I was him, like, oh man, it sucks how I won. But then you go home and your whole family is there, and then they mail you the belt. And you're opening it. I'm sure his family's like, no, you earned it. You're the champion. Who gives a shit how it ended? Yeah. So you can't blame him to, you know, feeling, you know, some glory. He worked his ass off to get there.
It's a weird dichotomy. Like he did the right. I knew he was going to throw the belt down. Like I knew when they put it on him, I knew he was going to throw it down. The party photos, like, I mean, it is what it is. Let the guy have some. I mean, how much whatever small amount of glory and respect he can have for that win is what it is, man. He's partying, he's with his friends. He lives now a block away from the Apex Center, which is pretty cool. Mm-hmm. He's not like on Instagram showboating with the belt in the public. He was at a private party. It was a candid clip someone posted. He was having a good time. He's alive. He probably just got home from the hospital because I know they sent him directly there.
He did.
But he's not on his. I haven't checked his Instagram since yesterday. I don't see him on the "this is my belt." He's not holding it up. He's not wearing it. It's not like he put the "and new congratulations, thanks to my fans."
He's not doing that Sandro Cejudo sleeping with the belt, taking pictures.
Tim Sylvia thing. Tim Sylvia was on a dating.
Oh,
show.
Tim Sylvia, I saw that.
Yes, the blind date
was on like the forget what it was called. It was like a dating game show where they go out on actual dates. He had the belt on dates.
Well, they said that guy walked around town with the belt on.
Yeah, he would throw a bitch fit if he couldn't get on the airplane wearing the belt. He didn't want to put it through the metal detector. Didn't want to take it off when he sat down.
I was never a Tim Sylvia fan. I was like, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, the roid thing is also a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so yeah.
But yeah, with that too, and then another thing I want to mention, one guy should be pissed off would be, outside of these two men would be, Sanhagen. Shit, he should be tweeting and upset that wait, how long am I going to take to get shot? Try fight.
Twitter pulled up.
And then you have the two worst guys to come out and say something. Guy that tested positive steroids for his whole damn career possibly, and taught everyone how to cheat. To shut his mouth. And then you have the other guy that's retired. If not, you're going to come retired and fight. I mean,
a lot of people
in my opinion, you're the best.
A lot of people don't think Cejudo actually retired. They think that was just a money ploy, and it might have been for what's happening now.
Out USADA testing it?
Okay, here
to
we
me,
go.
like he says, it's not official till he pulls himself out of the USADA testing pool.
Oh wait, that was 3 years ago. Goddamn, I hate when people pin their tweets because this tweet looks super relevant from Corey Sandhagen, but it was from 3 years ago.
You know what I like to see in is Alger work the body. He was working the body a bit, but he let off on, and I think especially because Jan was keeping his guard up so high, like he was throwing hooks to the body, and I was like, okay, if he can keep that going, maybe he can slow Jan down and break him down a little bit. But he didn't. I was like, man, why wouldn't you keep working the body? Like that's beautiful you were doing.
And like you were saying, he was pulling up some like wacky stuff where Jan was like kicking almost a sweep, and then he would go to his back and try to roll like a north-south position.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what is he doing there? And another thing too, if you look at the scoring, I think Rogan said, let's say if the fight did continue and you took out 1 point, I think it was like an even. Some judge had it even, like the scoring for Jan and Sterling, if you were to deduct the point from Jan. Yeah. So that either way, I mean, I was curious to see, if there was a decision how the scoring would be, because with 10-8s and the other,
I think it's a 2-point deduction actually. So I think he would have won because it was a blatant foul. So I think they would have deducted 2 points. So he still would have won if he would have survived. Yeah. The next round, he still would have won technically based on the point deduction. So I mean, there is that, but at the same time, it's like, do you really even want to win it that way?
That way, it's a tough pill to swallow.
It's a tough pill to swallow. Yeah. Nobody really wins in that situation. Let's be honest. No. Nobody.
Well, the bettors.
Well, okay. There are those.
Yeah.
I'd like to see who won. I know you can find out who won the most money off of that, so I'm going to look that up off air because that's crazy. And then we got that co-main, Nunes versus Megan.
Yeah, I think like all of us were saying, Nunes was going to win. Just what fashion, what knockout, what round, or now submission.
Yeah, so it was a matter of what and when.
Yeah,
and it kind of sucks. Like you said, she was pretty much the last girl in the division. I mean, Megan was pretty much in line. Just what form I'm going to pick out of the 4 girls in that division to feed to Nunes.
Who's left?
And you're lucky number 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
So not much to say in that fight.
Yeah, unfortunately, Bambi was the only one that showed up.
Yeah.
I just picture Chris somewhere in a corner crying because lost.
That's right. Yeah.
He's so pro. He was so pro Megan and putting up the picture of him with Megan.
And with Nunes, and you know what I said? I gave a lot of praise.
I know. You didn't pull it, Alex. I know you didn't.
I gave her a lot of praise, and I said that the fight was going to happen exactly the way it was going to happen.
Yeah, I did. You did do that. 100%.
Because I know
I still thought you were going to be in the corner crying for her because I was like,
I'm pretty sure. I can't look.
No.
I watched the whole fight, and I've seen Megan get tagged very early with first shots. That's sort of what happens to her. Is I've seen her wobble.
Slow starter. Yeah.
Well, I mean, slow getting rocked also. Like she's been tagged very quickly in a lot of fights where she does the Bambi legs. I've seen the Bambi legs before.
Oh, really? Okay.
I think it was who was it? It was after the Amanda Bell fight. Megan Anderson. She had won the fight that I'm talking about. But she was wobbly legged.
Because that looked bad when I saw that. I was like, oh.
Yeah, that was the worst I've seen.
That's not good. Yeah.
It might have been Amber Lebrock. It was Amber Lebrock, the fight before Amanda Bell. It was a 3-round war, but she got tagged early in that fight, and she did Bambi legs, and then she survived and came back and won in the 3rd. It just, I don't know if it's your body type, where she just can't get her legs under her because she's every inch of 6 feet, or she just gets tagged that hard. Maybe it's like the jawline. I don't know. I'm not a scientoctorist. I don't know what causes someone to bandy leg like that.
Yeah. That
often. I mean, GSP had skated around before, but he got hit by a fucking Long Island hammer. The main event, and I have the stats pulled up, and I'll let Richard talk about it, but real quick, there was a lot of controversy about, and this seems to come his way a lot, the bias of Joe Rogan. A lot of the quotes from Joe Rogan during the fight were, Izzy's piecing him up, he's outclassing him, this is what a world-class striker looks like. Check these stats out for a second. Signature strikes, 107 of 193, landed by Gian, 78 of 161 by Izzy. Significant strike percentage, 55 Jan, 48 Izzy. Total strikes, 184 landed of 276 by Jan, 99 of 182. More than double the amount of strikes thrown and landed by Jan. I am the benefit of the doubt that Joe knows more than me, and I do love Joe Rogan as a commentary, but he was so wrong. I don't know. Obviously, these metrics don't count for a reason. You could land 1,000 shots, and then the other guy can just land one, and that's all it takes to end the fight. This clearly wasn't the case. Izzy, in my opinion, was not outclassing him. He wasn't displaying his world-class striker that he is, wasn't displayed in this fight. So yeah, I don't know if that was just confirmation bias by Joe trying to sell Izzy. Maybe Dana was in his ear trying to make him sell Izzy, or if that was instructions, or if he actually saw it that way. I know Joe Rogan has repeatedly said that he does not get high for UFC fights.
He was because I don't know. He does. The way he looked, he was high.
If he does, he can't for himself. But him and Bravo might have been rolling him up a little bit before this one.
I know a lot of people. He brought up a lot the fact that he felt like Jan felt a lot for like the fakes and feints. But I think he's doing that because out of respect.
But those don't land. Those don't count.
They don't land. And the thing is, like, Izzy was throwing so many, but he never used that to set anything up.
Yeah.
Like he faked and feinted, but then nothing came after. Yeah. So for Jan, it's like, he was doing it because he was being smart, like, kind of trying to be defensive and look out for something. But like he kind of kept falling for it also because nothing ever happened. And he didn't want to be like at one point, like, oh, he's just throwing it and not react properly and then get dropped. Yeah. So as far as for him falling, I kind of see why he's doing it. I think it was him just kind of reacting like, okay, is this the time he's going to hit me? Is this the time he's going to counter? If I don't do something, I don't react to it. So it's like, he's got to react. Like, I didn't see it that bad as far as for him reacting so much to the fakes and feints. Cause that could have been a plot the whole time. I was going to fake and feint for a while. And when eventually he gets tired and doesn't fall for it, boom, now I'm going to counter.
Yeah, exactly. And so you get to finish your thoughts on that main event, Richard?
No, like he was saying, so I thought he was gonna set up like some traps like he does in his previous fights.
Yeah, like the gas
obviously with Izzy, you see the speed was there. That wasn't, I think, too much of a factor with the weight gain. His speed was there, but then you saw the size difference, like you guys were saying, once it went to the ground, because you can tell that was a middleweight with a light heavyweight in that cage. So, and then he used his weight so well. Like I said, he wasn't really. Jan wasn't being, that dominant in the fourth, fifth round as ground and pound, but he did enough to take those rounds. I don't know what judge saw at 10-8. Maybe those judges were rolling some joints with Bravo and Rogan before that fight. But yeah, and I want to really get into your thoughts on the judging. Alex and I have a couple of friends in the commission for boxing, and we asked, like, for boxing, I know that they can't have any headphones listening to the fights because they don't want to listen to the commentators being biased. They can't even see the stats of the fight. So it's pretty much a plain sheet for boxing.
Yeah.
And now they think about influencing that. I don't know how MMA is as much. I feel that they should look at the statistics. Like Chris was saying, when you look at the statistics where John and Israel at the striking, it's pretty, close. I don't know how, Rogan was saying Israel was that dominant in the striking, but statistics don't lie. So I hope that could be a tool for judging. I mean, judging has this change and this is becoming more and more of a disgrace, and it might kill the sport eventually, which I hope it doesn't, but it doesn't help the sport either.
And they brought up the open scoring that Invicta does, which I love. Viewers who aren't sure what that means, they display the round winner between fights, so everybody knows. Well, okay, so I didn't know this. I thought it was up on the Titantron or the big screen. Sorry, I'm a pro wrestling fan. I thought it was displayed on the big screen for everybody to see. It's only shown in the corners, and it's up to the corner to relay that information to the fighter. So they can tell the fighter they're winning or losing rounds based on how they think the performance is going to increase or decrease on that information. Either way, I still love that. And I don't see the downside to that at all. If any judge or any ref or any commissioner can say, well, we don't like that because this, and they give me a good reason, I'll consider it, but it's probably not correct.
Because I think open scoring was the best thing you could do in MMA, because I think a lot of these judges need to be held responsible. I mean, they get blasted, but I think to know and point out who really is incompetent.
Oh yeah, Adelaide Bird has years.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, to really find out which one it is, and maybe get them help to get more education and whatever part they need in, because I think they do need it. I think all of them need it. But I think it puts more pressure on them to get better and be better at their job. I mean, honestly, I think open scoring is the best thing they can do. Yeah, put them on blast. Yeah.
And if you remember the dark ages of UFC, like the right before Chuck had the title era, like the 30s through 45s, there was the Eddie Bravo open scoring.
Yes.
And Eddie would come in much like Trevor Whitman does. He would say, the Eddie Bravo scoring, I think this is who won the round, and this is why. And he was very accurate. And the commission did not like that because it always contradicted the bad scoring by their judges who looked bad when they got something wrong, and everyone agreed with Eddie. So they had to nix it. And or instead of firing the guy who knows what he's talking about, fire the people that don't know what why are you punishing the qualified instead of hiring or training? Like my homie, my tattoo artist Max went to Herb Dean School for refereeing and said that the commission will not punish a referee or judge for anything they do wrong. And that's why my friend Max walked out. He's like, well, what if this happens and this happens? What if I openly know that I did something wrong? Should I apologize? Like, no, never apologize. We'll cover for you. It's like this crazy boys club of just never looking bad. And this happened in Invicta with Tanya Evinger and a referee named Mike English, where she was fighting Yana Kunitskaya for her title. She was a 135-pound champ. She was 9 fights in a row. Yana had her in an armbar. It was very tight. All credit to Yana at the time. Tanya put her foot on her face. It wasn't a kick. Put her foot on the face. Ref called it, said it was an illegal hold. Title went to Yana. Tanya Evinger's crew disputed it, looked at the footage. It actually got overturned. The title went right back to Tanya. That was one of the first times in recent modern MMA history that a call was disputed and got overturned.
Yeah, it's hard to get something overturned.
It is especially because you're having the prisoner, you're having the security guards put the warden on trial essentially at some point, and they're never going to blame their own. But that was one of the times where the commission was like, okay, one of our own were wrong, and I was hoping that set a precedent. Mike English went on to make another couple bad calls in Invicta. There was a Hasaki versus Hinata D'Souza, who just fucking got smoked, which is crazy. Let the fight go on for like 18 punches longer than it should have. He got called out for that, and I think he hasn't been back since. But it is a case of them.
What did he call was illegal? That she put her foot on her face to kick.
Yeah, so Yana had the arm bar, and it was tight, and Tanya was above like this. And Tanya put her foot on her face.
Oh, okay.
And then swerved over to get it out.
Oh, okay.
She didn't kick her. She just had her foot on her face, but it wasn't a kick, and they called it an illegal strike. They told Tanya, readjust your foot. And in the moment that Tanya readjusted her foot, Yana got it pulled tighter and got the tap. Yeah, it was all fucked.
Okay, yeah.
They need to bring back Cecil Peoples.
Oh, yeah.
Ready for it? Cecil Peoples?
Yeah.
His fucking weird little, what the hell?
Yeah, he always did this thing like with his hands, like
like he was doing like a excessive celebration in the end zone with the.
I was waiting for like the crane kick one day, like he's gonna come out to the crane kick.
Yeah, that'd be goddamn great. Oh my god!
But he was a legit martial artist, though. He was a legit martial artist, though.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
He was legit.
Larry Landless. I saw Joe Riggs tap out Larry Landless in King of the Cage, man. There's a lot of reps.
God, King of the Cage.
We talked about it last time.
Yeah, we did.
King of the Cage is a wasteland. I love that. I love them.
But real quick, I just wanted to say like another quote that Dana White used to say back in the day: "Don't leave it in the hands of the judges." which is ridiculous. That's the only thing I agree with.
That is ridiculous.
I mean, I love that. I hate and love that that's a phrase. I hate that it has to be said, but I love that somebody's saying it.
Yeah. Which, like you said, judges should be reprimanded, and it should be, like they do that with fighters, and they put them on blast of poor performances, or if they fail drug tests, they leak all this. They pretty much
not even if they failed drug tests. They publicly announced if there was a suspected drug test that has no results yet.
Yeah,
that makes people think these guys positive. An accusation of a drug test failing.
With Romero, remember Yo?
Right, yeah, Romero,
yeah. Like, it came back suspect. Another one was Tom Lawler. Tom Lawler,
poor guy,
4 years on a first offense. Where
lost his career.
Yeah.
Where someone else, I forget who it was at the same time, was on their fourth offense and got like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I think Tom Lawler got 4 years for like weed or
it was for weed. Yeah, 4 years.
But then like someone else got like anadrone and got like 6 months.
6 months. Yeah, I remember that. I remember when that happened.
Ridiculous, man.
Yeah, but I mean, they should be reprimanded for sure. That commission, they need to fix that shit up. It's just not.
But Adelaide Bird should have been the first one.
I think it's.
She should have been sent to Herb Dean school.
I think Joe Rogan.
Well, Herb's been a little rocky too.
Fired finally.
Yeah, lately, yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, Herb used to be legit. I mean, he's one of the best refs out there was. I don't know what's going on now.
I don't know.
That France stoppage was questionable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. There you have it. We gave already our recap, and we still.
Jesus.
Wait.
Oh no! He's bringing out the Burger King crown.
Crown, man.
Isn't there a Connor joke? McNugget, something like that.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Oh,
dude.
Oh, to the king.
Really, you had to bring out the.
He looks like a little kid at his birthday party with that thing.
Literally just came from medieval times, man. Come on. It's a good time.
To be fair, at least the medieval times one is paper. That at least looks like they tried.
Well, yeah, at least they tried. But you know what?
That's the Hoodoo's little brother?
Hoodoo's
little brother.
But just, you know what? That crown is only going to be just for a short time, because when we come back, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do our prediction in 2 weeks.
Because Richard didn't get his caption in time. That's why.
That's it.
We need
putting that money on Richard.
I'll put money on you, bro. I need you to go ahead and take that belt away from Alex, bro.
We'll see.
I was calling him out. I said, "You're switching on your picks, bro." He's like, "They don't mind."
What? You don't mind?
Fine,
you should make a rule on that now. You stick to your predictions.
You know what? Fine. You guys are gonna complain. Fine. Next time.
I'm not complaining.
We're not complaining, bro. We're just talking about honesty.
Next time.
Integrity.
Next time, we'll do the predictions. You guys can write it on paper, and that will be my official predictions.
Oh, that's cocky, man.
Oh, I like it.
Hey, man. This is my second title defense. We already know it's gonna be a third. I'm gonna win that one too. I'm just saying the records, man.
When's the rap video gonna come out? Does that come out tomorrow, or is it after the?
He's gonna put it out tomorrow. He's gonna put it out tomorrow.
He was on the phone earlier booking a location.
Getting space at the park. This time he's gonna be on the swings with his crown on.
Oh man, I love it. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you much for tuning in. I want to go ahead and thank, obviously, Coach Veda for joining us once again. And
my pleasure. Thank you, guys.
But this is always it's going to be a regular thing, moving forward. We're having an awesome time, and I'm glad you guys as well, our viewers and subscribers, for having a wonderful time, and to our audio platform listeners as well. And I also want to go ahead and thank the authors of Pain, the Modest Brothers. And you can also tune into them as well on Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, any social media platform. Championship on the line. Make sure you listen to them. They have great interviews, and I don't know if they have upcoming ones they want to announce, but that's up to them. They want to say.
Anyways, also like Jose was on our podcast, which was a great interview. Check it out.
Thank you guys. Yeah, that was a pleasure to be on there. Thank you for having me on. That was awesome.
Oh, of course, it was awesome.
Definitely. It was very interesting stories. I was in wow. That's all I can say. But that's for you guys to tune in. Make sure you watch that on their either on their IG or you can actually find it on Spreaker. You already put it on Spreaker, right? An Apple Podcast.
We're gonna put that probably this week. We'll put it on Apple Podcast and Spreaker.
Yeah.
And then this Friday we have a brand new episode of Lucha Talk with a special guest, and he's from WCW, and he is Sonny Ono.
Oh, wow!
Yeah.
The name I haven't heard of. Yeah. Virgin.
Wow. Sonny Ono, I'm looking forward to listening to that. Definitely.
Yeah.
I want to see how that works out for you guys. I want to see. But yes,
that's awesome, dude.
That's awesome.
Good job.
That is awesome, definitely.
Thank you.
And also, ladies and gentlemen, the director, el director. That's right. He is the Mr. MMA. You know,
kind of. Fucking not about Alex or anything, but you know.
Until then, ladies and gentlemen, we will see you guys in 2 weeks. We will go ahead and give our predictions for the upcoming one, UFC 260, which is Nangana versus Miocic. We're looking forward to talk about that. But yeah, you better not. No, it's gonna
Here
be.
We go. And it begins.
Nope. Still, baby.
Look at Richard. He's so frustrated.
When he would come from tournaments, you should see him.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in. Good night, guys. See you guys in 2 weeks.